Before the video starts, I want to make it clear that this is my opinion and that this is purely speculation for the new expansion. Maybe the expansion might not even have a new class. I have no clue, but this is again my opinion, and I want a new class. So if there was going to be a new class, this is what I think it will be. So enjoy the video. It's all speculation. Don't make it official. Don't make it seem like it's official. And yeah, enjoy the video. What is up, guys? It is SWTOR. And today we got another Star Wars video, and today we're going to be talking about a new class that could possibly be coming to the new expansion. Star Wars: The Old Republic is almost 5 years old. It's coming up on its 5th birthday, I believe, in December of this year, and we've never had a new class. It's a 5-year-old game. Usually MMOs, maybe a year or 2 years, will make something new, like a new class, or something just basically new for people to try out and play. And like, for example, like a big game that everybody should know about, World of Warcraft. Every 2 years they have a new expansion, and usually those expansions will come out with a new class, and that's one of the basic two things that people come back to play it for. You know, usually you hear your friend, "Oh, I'm not going to play World of Warcraft anymore. I'm done with that game," and then they obviously are lying. And then when the expansion trailer comes out and it shows off all the stuff, it's like, "Oh, I'm going back to play World of Warcraft." And one of those big reasons is because new classes. If you guys know anything about the new expansion for WoW called Legion, they have a new class called the Demon Hunter, and usually classes will come out with new weapons, maybe new armor, specific to that class. And I think it would be very, very interesting to see a new class in Star Wars, and that's what this video is all about. Now, obviously, I don't speak for BioWare when I talk about a new class or anything. This is just my opinion of if they were ever to make a new class, this is what I think they should make. So again, I'm not obviously from BioWare. I'm not going to sit here and say this is definitely what's going to happen, but I think that if they ever were to make a new class, this is what sort of, or maybe the direction they should go for a new class. And I understand why they've waited so long to make a new class. I'm not saying that they will ever make one. Like, I want to stress this so much that this is not official, because I know there will be some guy in the comments saying that this never happened or will never happen. And I kind of understand why they don't want to make a new class, is because they have to basically make a new story from all the way from level 1 or to level 60 or whatever level they're at. And that's going to be very hard because it can't really mix in with any of the other classes in the game, like story. Like, I saw some people wanting SIS agents and Imperial troopers. And the reason those are not very good ideas, even though it would be pretty fun to play like those types of characters, is that the SIS agent is basically just the Imperial agent with the Republic insignia. It's just going to be the same class, except it's going to be a different faction. And the same thing for the Imperial Trooper. It's just the Republic Trooper, but it's an Imperial. So like, they're going to have pretty similar playstyles probably, and that's not going to be basically anything new. And that's what kind of the classes in every other game are. They are basically new playstyles. They have new weapons. They have new everything. Everything has to be new, and they can't just like copy and paste something over and call it a new class. So this is where I get to the thing that you guys are probably here for, is my thoughts, or what I think the new class could possibly be in this new expansion, the Knights of the Eternal Throne. It would be an awesome thing to introduce the Zakuul Knight. Now, I know what you're possibly saying right now, "Oh, that's a horrible idea. Oh, they'll never do that. Oh, though, but Rift, why? Why would they do this?" And I think the explanation is, in my opinion, it makes sense. First thing is the new weapons. Like, every game that has a new class will most likely have new weapons for different playstyles. And if you guys ever played the Knights of the Fallen, it's a Fallen Empire? Yeah, it's Fallen Empire. What am I doing? What am I doing with my life? But the knights always wield pole sabers. Did I say pool sabers? Pole sabers and shields. So those are weapons that we cannot obtain currently in Star Wars, right, or the Old Republic right now. And I think it would be very, very interesting to implement those as kind of the basic weapons for the Zakuul Knight. Because usually, again, like I said, classes have new weapons, and they have the weapons in the game. Why not use them, or have players have the ability to use them? And lore-wise, in my opinion, it would make sense. I mean, Arkin's gone. Everybody probably thinks he's dead. Valen and Scorpio have taken over the Eternal Throne. And, well, I don't think that they're going to be able to use the Knights. I think the Knights are not going to be very loyal to Valen, because I'm pretty sure there's probably like 100 dead bodies at the bottom of that, that little ball throne place of the Zakuul Knight. So probably they're not going to be very loyal to Valen, and Scorpio's going to be using the Sky Troopers in the actual fleet. So I think it would make sense for the Zakuul Knights, knowing all the information about Zakuul, to either go to the Alliance, which is kind of where that was basically where their story is going to come in, and help the Alliance take back the Eternal Throne. And last thing I want to say, it's going to bring something new to the game, and that's kind of what it needs. It seemed that in the new expansion, or the expansion that's going on right now, the Eternal Throne, it looks like they're focusing more on single player stuff, which isn't really what I want, and maybe bringing a new class would help. It would be a class that goes along with the story, which is a good thing. So yeah, that's basically what I think there should be a class, and I'm going to go into more specifics right now. So, if they were ever to make the Zakuul Knight class, this is what I personally think what would happen and how they would be played. So here's the big thing that makes the class unique, is that it's a hero class. So if you've played World of Warcraft, you know what a hero class is. It's basically a class where you have to have a certain level character before you can even play that class. So say you need a level 60, and if you don't have a level 60 at this point, there's something wrong with you, okay? You get a free level 60 just for subscribing to the game, so it's not that hard of a thing to get. And then you start at level 60, so right when you make the character, it's a level 60 character, and you can go straight into the story of Zakuul Knight. So that's kind of a thing that I would like to see as a hero class in the game, because it wouldn't really make sense to start them on a starting planet like Tython or something, or maybe even making their own planet for them to start at level 1. It just wouldn't make any sense, and they would have to go through, like, Nar Shaddaa, Balmora, all those other planets where they basically don't even need to be. So that's personally why I think they should be a hero class, and why they should just straight up start on Zakuul or with the Alliance. Now moving on to their specializations. I don't pronounce that correctly, so I apologize if you guys are cringing right now. But let's talk more about their specs. Obviously, there's two really obvious ones that I'm going to state right here. Is the first one being a tank spec. They obviously have shields, so basically they are going to be probably a very tanky class. And what I was thinking about is if we could compare a class from a game to fit their playstyle, that would most likely be the Protection Warrior from World of Warcraft. If you guys played World of Warcraft, you probably obviously know what I'm talking about. I'm making a lot of World of Warcraft, tie-ins with this game, which shouldn't really be happening right now, but I need to, because that's just the closest thing that we can come to this. But if you guys don't know, Protection Warriors basically use shield and swords and combo stuff with those two weapons. And one of the first abilities I guess we could talk about is a reflect ability, where he can reflect any projectile or shot back at the caster. So say there's a Jedi Sage and he's walking up to you and he throws a disturbance at you. You can click an ability, maybe call it like Mass Reflect like World of Warcraft, or just Reflect, and basically where you raise your shield and reflect that ability back at the caster, which we kind of saw in Chapter 16, where you pick up the shield and you gotta basically reflect all this stuff by looking at the caster, or those little balls of whatever they were called, where you actually had to look at them and it would bounce back and hit them or hit Arkin. I mean, that's like the best thing that we've seen. If this was actually going to happen, that's probably the best thing I could compare it to in game. And I mean, they obviously have a system to reflect stuff, so it would make sense to actually have it as an ability for the character. And then we obviously have our more basic damage spec. We have to have a damage spec for like every class in this game, where basically it would be more based on fast strikes, like just very speedy guy. And instead of having a shield and a pole saber, maybe he will dual wield 2 pole sabers. That's a little bit, that's pushing the edge a little bit. I mean, that's pushing the envelope. Dueling pole sabers, that almost seems like it'd be a very, very hard task. But I think it would be a pretty cool thing to see. in the game, and he'd obviously, like I said, be more focused on damaging and being very, very speedy and using his speed to, burst people down, basically. Yeah, that's pretty much all I have on this subject. Again, like I said, it's not official. If they ever make a trailer, okay, but let's go back, let's go into the future a bit. If they make a trailer, and basically this is in it, like they have the new Zakuul Knight class, woo, and all this stuff I just said is actually like used in the game. I'm calling it right now. I want this to be known that I'm calling it at this moment. So remember this video if you're watching it. If it actually happens, I don't know. I'll be happy. That's like it. There's nothing more than I'll just be really, really happy and excited that I called it, and I could say that I called something. So yeah, I want your thoughts on what you think about the Zakuul Knight class. Obviously, I didn't go like into it in depth, like a lot. Maybe like what mounts they'll have, what certain special abilities. I don't know. Maybe they'll have a Zakuul race. Maybe, I don't know. That wouldn't really make any sense because they're kind of just like basic humans. But I want to know your thoughts down in the comment section below. Maybe you guys have some classes you think that could be added to the game. You can leave those in the comments as well. I'm always going to be going to the comments and looking, seeing what your opinions are. Yeah. If you guys did enjoy, please hit that like button and subscribe. I'm SWTOR, and I'll see y'all later.